All right, man.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
I'm logged in. I found a place where internet exists and there's access to the wide web, or World Wide
Oh
Web, I
yeah.
think.
So
So
we are
I'm
coming to you long distance, like real
long
long
distance.
distance
This is
today.
proper long distance now
This is proper
because
long distance.
I've somehow managed to,
We're
you know,
talking about different country long distance.
yeah, find a way to get the podcast going from the motherland. So I'm in
Mm-hmm.
Pakistan at the moment, and yeah, it's a very weird even
What
from a
what what
tech
time
point
is
of
it
view,
over there
right?
right now?
It's it's about 4:20 in the morning.
4:20 a.m.
Yeah. And what time is it in Melbourne?
It's it's about 10:30, somewhere
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
10:20.
So huge time difference, right? And
Bro, you're gonna be so jet lagged when you come back. You're gonna be so messed up. It's
man,
gonna
I
be
was
like,
jet lagged when I came here. Even like it's just ridiculous. Like it was like you're kind of traveling backwards in time because when you go from Australia
well,
to
you are
Pakistan,
arriving back. You are actually time traveling.
yeah. So it's kind of weird. Like when we took off, it was dark, and then in a couple of hours, it turned into a sunrise, and then and by the time I reached to Pakistan again, it was dark. So I've traveled for like about fucking 15 hours or 17 hours of flight. So I mean, it's not that long distance compared to people who travel into Europe and all that, but it's just the tech, man. Like human beings, man, are able to like make metal fly into sky. So it's still marvelous. Like it's still a miracle in a way, being able to travel long distance at thousands of kilometers, apart.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it's just the way like people use tech in different countries as well. Because like, I mean, I'm kind of from here, but thing is like, you just realize how human beings like the whole jugaad thing, the ingenuity of like how
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah.
somehow figured out a hack.
Yeah.
These
How they
life
figured a
hacks or
hack
tech
around some
hacks. Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
Like I get it. Yeah.
Whether it's solar power, the way they use it here. I mean, here there's a lot of load shedding, right? So electricity keeps conking out, gas
Oh
keeps conking out.
yes.
So like, there's a backup here for everything. They have a backup for water,
Yeah, yeah.
and the different tiers of water, right? So there's like your high tier mineral water, and then there's like local filtered
There's the
water
cheap
that they
stuff. Yeah,
sell.
I know.
Yeah, cheap shit. This they put it on top of fucking dispenser and whatnot. And then they have all these local brands and local mineral water brands as well. Then different filtering systems, and then all these backups. So there's a backup for electricity as well. So when you lose electricity, people have like tier one is fucking solar, and there's different tiers. So the one that I have at my place right now, it's like a fucking truck battery. It's
Hmm.
like a semi truck, and they have a battery, right? They connect that battery to their house. So every time the electricity gongs out, that battery it comes back, it comes online. And what dad has done is he's actually made sure that particular parts of the house are always lit up. They got electricity, like exhaust fans running, the ceiling fan is running.
Yeah,
So
yeah. There's
stuff
always
just runs
something
off
moving.
that,
Yeah, yeah, I know.
keeps the house chugging along, right? And then during the day, when there's electricity, it charges that truck battery. And there are even different qualities of that as well. So there's local manufactured ones. There's ones where they'll keep reinvigorating or recycling these batteries to keep them going. There's even gas. So last night, it's really cold at the moment in Punjab, right? And what happens is that gas freezes or gets stuck in the pipeline. So
Gas free.
yeah, so
That is
that's
hilarious.
weird, right? And gas is cheap here, and I mean in comparison to, let's
Yeah,
say,
of course it's cheap
water.
because they're
Yeah,
buying it off like places. They're buying it from here, bro. If I had
yeah,
like
it's local.
nothing.
It's local. Like it's a local. It comes out of like mountain regions of, I think, Balochistan.
No, bro. They're actually buying. They're buying it off us. They're all buying it off Australia, bro.
Even Pakistan is buying. Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody, bro. The whole
Everybody's
world is
buying.
buying it off. The whole
Probably. Yeah.
and the weird part is, even though it's cheap to like, even despite despite the fact that it gets exported from us from here, the weird thing is it's still cheaper once it gets to the target destination.
It's cheaper for
But
them compared to us in Australia.
but for us in Australia, we still have to pay premium, bro. The gas bill went up like insane, like recently,
yeah,
man.
I know.
It's like we are subsidizing all that cheap gas in like Pakistan, India, and all these places.
There's backup of water. There's backup for gas. So everybody has a gas cylinder at home. So when the stove stops, they have a backup stove with a cylinder. And backup electricity, in the form of like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, fucking no tier, bullshit tier kind of people have for electricity. But man, all kinds of diseases and all kinds of like new fucking dangerous shit, has come out like in the atmosphere that is killing people. Like, there's a lot of like pollution and like people tell me like here, right? During winter season in Punjab, right? You have a lot of fog. Okay, this is inner country, right? So there's only rivers here, which you can kind of say have semi dried up. Okay, and there's no coast here, right? So humidity is like kind of negligible in summer, and during winter it gets really foggy, right? And there's a lot of agricultural land here. Now, fog is natural, but what is unnatural here is all the pollution. So the pollution and the fog combines together to become smog. And the smog is causing all kinds of allergies and creating new kinds of fucking, diseases for people.
You have to understand, I think smog is like relatively new to Pakistan.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
But in India, it's pretty common. Like I still remember when I was young, when we went to India, I from the auto rickshaw, right? You're sitting in the auto rickshaw and it's like making all this noise and you're like this tiny little kid sitting in an auto rickshaw, like having your brains freaking rattled out, okay? And then you look up and you look out the door and you look up, right? You see the building, right? It goes all the way to the top. But then you look up a little bit more and you see that the building just like disappears in smoke in like this thick fog, and you're like, oh wow, fog is really thick. And my parents are like, that's not fog. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, that's smog, bro. Like, that is smog, baba. That's not smog.
Yeah, but like, when you look at like all that stuff they show in the Matrix and all those like, far-fetched, visions of the future, right? Like where fucking the sky has darkened out and shit like that. I mean, we kind of like are on that journey now.
No, actually, they shouldn't have. Okay, there's something actually inaccurate about the whole sky has darkened out. See, at least the sky is clear, in all those Matrix movies. The sky is like super clear up until a certain point. It's really high up there where the clouds are, where like, everything is dark. The real show will be like, you can barely see like 20 feet in front of you because there's like so much pollution. You'll be like, what the hell is that, bro? Like, I can barely see what's over there. There's so much
like
pollution.
Children of Men kind of thing going on, and then there's what do you call
Children of Men? Holy shit, bro! What?
Yeah, there's
can't be
like,
that bad.
I mean, it can't be that bad, but thing is that I guess the fertility rates. It's all interconnected. Things are converging, So like, if you look at what Elon Musk was talking about, after all that speculation, right? Even Elon Musk was speculating that what could be the reason for Sam Altman's firing, right? And he said that he actually gave a lot of information out, right? He said that he
we have to preface something. We have to preface something here.
Yeah.
Sam Altman Elon Musk is diagrammatically opposed to Sam Altman. Like, he is basically against the whole OpenAI thing. Yeah,
because he believes, like even I believe, that it's closed AI.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's closed or not, the whole thing is it's a product that his competitor is actually producing. So he has his own product, and he's gonna Grok AI or whatever it's called. That's the product. And then you have OpenAI, which is like right now the darling of the world, right? It's like the biggest, like it's the hottest commodity in the world right now.
Yeah.
So continue. What were you saying? What did he say?
So I guess it's a good preface. I guess what you're trying to put context on is like these two competitors. I mean, I don't actually see him as someone who is. I mean, he could be a corporate. It could be just corporate marketing where he's trying to put down, OpenAI and the product it has created, or he could be one of those corporate moguls. I mean, which he is. That is just basically trying to raise awareness that it's closed and it is not to benefit of humanity. Either way, his analysis is this, that he was actually made for surgery. And one of the board members, the lady who basically ousted Sam Altman, that lady, she used to work for Google, if I'm not wrong.
It's some Indian lady, right?
No, some
Is she ethnically Indian or no? Is it, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. She ethnically.
I don't know. There was like so many names.
There's an Australian there on that board as well, because the story I read on the ABC News app.
Oh, okay.
It was a very good story. It kind of gives you the historical context of how OpenAI came to be, the whole thing, and then all the way to the current part where the announcement of Sam Altman is, right? And at that time, it speculates within their article that there is some, new doomsday thing that they've discovered. Okay. And,
you're talking about Q? OP?
The Q thing, that was announced in that article, the one I shared with you.
So just for context, there is this, there is a very strong belief among the sort of tech/AI community that the whole reason for the firing of Sam Altman, or one of the reasons for the firing of Sam Altman, was that there was the invention or this development of what is known as AGI, so artificial general intelligence, which means that an AI has actually gained sentience, so it's able to think for itself and come up with its own conclusions. So kind of like a human being, kind of like a human brain. So it thinks and it comes to its own conclusions. And this thing was called Q. After, I think I know what it's named after. I think it's named after the Q from Star Trek or something. That particular entity.
Yeah.
I think it's named after that. Very apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Because the Q essentially is an AI, right? In Star Trek, I think it's an AI. It's a computer based something. I don't know. Or is it I think it's a being. Sorry, it's a being that lives on a planet that's able to create illusions or some shit like that. So it's named after that. Now, how is it how is it able to?
Yeah, so I think
how is that directly connected to Sam Altman's firing? I still can't join the dots. People are saying that it is, but I don't know how it works. Yeah.
So there are a couple of things, right? So he said that he hired that lady to come and work for OpenAI, initially, and that kind of tarnished his relationship with Sergey.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk was actually part of OpenAI at one time. I remember that. Yeah. You're right.
And he said that we were mates and we should talk about AI all the time and everything. And then the whole thing just collapsed because my friendship with him got kind of stressed out because of that. And well, that's the thing, right? It kind of shows you that whole inner thing about how at the top it's even
everybody's
hard to make
buddy.
friends. It's even hard to make friends, right? It's even hard to keep friends. And he talks about the whole thing that Sam Altman, right? That he thinks he finds him a bit shady and all that.
Obviously.
Yeah, but the reason why it is shady, what he's doing, is quite out in the open that he's shady. It's by design, because Sam Altman and he's a leader. So his followers of people who work for OpenAI, their whole aim is to capitalize on the shares that they have within the company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and he's working hard to make sure that he and his people who have kind of stood by him, and he's led them, is to capitalize on all that money because they've worked hard for many years.
No, it's to capitalize. It's to capitalize on all the effort that they've poured into OpenAI.
Yeah.
I think what happened with OpenAI
that's what's
is
going
when they
on.
started
The world
out,
is not seeing that point. It's like any other startup.
What I think has happened with OpenAI is when they started, they had noble intentions. They were like, yes, it's going to be AI for the masses. It's going to be X, Y, and Z. But then I guess a subset of people within the company went, well, this is not going to make us any money. It's probably about, oh, look, we're doing all this hard work. We're doing all this extra, effort and what have you. And we're not making anything out of it. Like, what is the point of having this particular OpenAI situation if we're not going to be able to make money out of it? Because you want to understand, people who are working for OpenAI, these are not just like average tech code monkeys, or they're not average tech type of entrepreneur, not the average tech person. These are people who have probably PhDs. Okay, we're talking
Right.
like high level qualifications in psychology of like behavior, high level
Yeah.
qualifications in
The
some kind of
polymath
a tech
probably.
sector. They're polymath, exactly, so they
Yeah.
know multiple areas of technology really well. They might have multiple PhDs. So these are people who have invested a significant, and if you know anything about America, you know that America will put you into education debt as soon as
Yeah.
you jump out of high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if these people have like multiple PhDs and they have all this extra qualifications and what have you, they have to pay the banks back for it, right? They have to actually pay their education debts.
And it's that one
So
thing that has turned out well for them. You have to understand it's a
yeah,
big
it's
risk,
it's
right?
that one thing that somehow, out of like all the different things that happen in the universe,
Yeah.
it has somehow all the stars have aligned, and now like OpenAI is like this big giant thing where Microsoft has actually partnered with them and everything. So they're all going, well, we have shares in this. Like our shares are kind of worthless unless and until we are able to get into like a profitable, into like a for-profit situation.
Well,
And that's I think what's happened.
well, the other thing that I think OpenAI has done, right? I mean, all these
Mm.
large language models, and is that it has
Again, let
allowed
me
people to.
sorry,
Yeah.
let me cut you off one sec. OpenAI is not the only LLM.
Yeah.
OpenAI is not the only ChatGPT is not the only LLM model out
Yeah.
there. Amazon has their own models. Google has its own.
Lam-
Everybody has
dude,
their own model.
Facebook has launched one. Meta has
Facebook
launched one.
has-
That's pretty good as well.
Now basically now in the timeline of the creation and the I guess consumption of AI, LLM is like the Lay's chips version of AI. Okay, like everybody has like a cheap potato chip. Okay,
Yeah.
every company has a cheap potato chip, salt and vinegar.
The
straight up.
Cheetos.
It's not Cheetos.
No, the
Cheetos is
Meta
a bit
one
more
is
effort.
definitely the Cheetos, bro. Because like if the way they sell that thing,
Meta is its own separate thing. Zucky boy will sell everything and like he'll amp it up and try to sell it like as if it's like the next big thing. Like metaverse, like the Meta Quest, right? The Meta Quest 3. It's like fizzled out now. Like no, like it's all gone. Like it's only been a couple of
There's
months
a
and it's
whole
all
game
just all
that's
the
been
sales
launched.
and everything.
This cringe fest
Not a-
that was fucking Game Awards.
No,
man, that
but the
was-
game also hasn't come out. The game's gonna come out next month. Okay,
Yeah.
the game. They said that okay, you bought a product. They claim on the package that there's gonna be a pack-in game, bro. You expect the game to be there on launch. It wasn't there on launch. It's gonna come out like a few months later. Bad launch. Never should do that. Anyway, the whole thing is fizzled out. Anyway, coming back to this. So LLMs are now the basic potato chip variant of AI.
Yeah.
What is next is what GPT-4 is trying to do, where it's not just an LLM, but it's also trying to understand visually. Like you give it a visual thing, it actually understands what you're trying to provide it,
Yeah.
and it then processes that. I was trying to get better, obviously. And then also you've got like, stability AI, and you've got other stuff like, audio processing AI and multitude
heaps.
of different AIs. Okay. So everybody is now trying to come up with different flavors of potato chip. Okay. That's what's happening now. But the one potato chip that is at the top, right? This is like what is the best potato chip? Doritos. This is like the Doritos
Kettle. Yeah, it's not. I mean,
Oh, Kettle.
technically, it's not really. But same.
kettle, or like this is like okay, Doritos is like the top corn chip, right, in the world. Or CC, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's the top corn chip in the world. So
Doritos.
OpenAI is like the Doritos, okay? And nobody expected, nobody in
Nacho
OpenAI,
Supreme.
because everybody was working on LLMs at one point in time.
But they kind of
Nobody
gave up on
expected,
it. Yeah.
nobody expected that the OpenAI LLM will actually outpace all of them. Nobody expected that OpenAI will become the
I
Doritos.
think, I think it's also the packaging, right? So they've taken that, and Microsoft has packaged it in a way where they're like, okay,
Yeah.
and ultimately, at the moment, from a business point of view, the biggest threat of ChatGPT is actually not the jobs and everything in the near term. It's actually Google itself. Google holds a huge amount of repository of all the information of the world, being able to locate it quick and fast, right? And ChatGPT comes along and it's actually working on archival data. It's not even fucking working off what.
Yeah.
And now what it does is it allows companies who deal in information to lock up their information, not give it to Google, not allow people to scrape that information, and then turn that into a service model.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Twitter or X, you want to call it, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And oh my, it's like, so
No,
Google's
it
a
is.
bit
It is
useless. And
effectively.
apparently the new Google launched Gemini or whatever, people are saying it's fake, it's fucked. Like,
Is it?
yeah, bro.
Hang
It's
on.
like,
How?
there are videos about it. Like,
I know you've got a video in here for
yeah.
it. Do you want to share that? Like, let's have a look at it.
Yeah, that was more from a business point of view, but like, it shows what the impact was. So I'll just show you.
By the way, I have one very spicy news from local here.
Oh man,
Coles
go
has
for it.
tried.
Go
Coles.
for it,
No,
man.
I'll do it. I'll do it
Share
after. It's a kind of a stupid slash. What the hell are they thinking? Kind of news.
Okay.
Just in time for Christmas. It's like Coles is just like doing some really stupid things.
Oh yeah, the customer policy thing. Like, yeah, I also have a cool thing I want to talk about. All right.
Yeah.
Of Alphabet today because it was such a story yesterday. Remember, it was our lead because we made it our chart of the day on this announcement that they did with Gemini, finally rolling out their AI model to, what seemed to be rave reviews. If you guys remember, I cited maybe 3 or 4 different notes from Wall Street analysts, and the commentary was all glowing. Then we had Steve Kovac on, of course, our Ace Tech reporter, who said, well, you know what? Some are suggesting that maybe this isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Admitted at least one demo wasn't real. So we bring Steve Kovac back on with us today to figure out what in the world is going on. Now, the stock is now negative by 1.5%.
Right.
Maybe some of
5% yesterday.
maybe some of this is filtering through. What do we know?
Yeah, so that video demo of Gemini that everyone is kind of going crazy over, Sundar Pichai shared it on X, and it's been getting a lot of attention, including on CNBC. It was edited. It was cut to look like that it actually is. Gemini is supposed to be able to take in visual cues, audio cues, and text cues and kind of collate all that together to give you the answer. That's not what Google actually did when they shot this video we're looking at. What they did was feed it text prompts and then over that do some voiceover to kind of show what it could look like. So I've been pressing Google on this. They finally gave me a statement saying this is actually meant to be an illustrative version of what Gemini could.
I think that kind of just explains as to what
So
the desperation.
So they just released a video saying that, oh, this is what we're trying to get this thing to do.
Yeah.
But GPT can do that right now. Like GPT, right now, it can actually do all that. You put like 2 different things in front of it, it can actually
the ousting and the whole before the whole drama, basically. That last press conference, that the demo that Sam Altman did, actually that demo was fucking dry as fuck. But they went the opposite route of how you sell a product. Like, people should watch that. That's actually a great presentation. It is the opposite, the antithesis of how Apple usually approaches that shit. He just came on stage, black stage, single screen projector, thing. There's a podium on the fucking right hand side. It's very academic, It had that very academic view of how this.
But that's the whole thing. OpenAI is a very academic-ish type of
No,
place.
because their board and all that is all academic.
Yeah, that's why they don't have marketing people on there. Sam Altman is probably the only guy who's like working super hard and trying to like, dude, how the hell do I actually make all this thing and sell it? Like, how do I sell it properly?
Yeah.
And and Microsoft is doing the actual sales for them. Microsoft is like, okay, let us integrate it into like, our products, like into Outlook, into Word and all this stuff. And that's how we're going to sell it. Honestly, if you really think about it, AI is still very difficult to sell AI.
People don't.
It's actually very hard. For example, people have been using DALL-E for how long now? People have been using DALL-E and
Stable
what's the other
Diffusion,
one?
Midjourney.
Not Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion. I have a thing for Stable Diffusion.
Midjourney.
People have been using DALL-E and they've been using Midjourney for how long now? And so far, all people are trying to do is use it as a toy.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, they'll generate some funny images. They'll share it around on social media. They'll make up a couple of weird memes. Some people are a bit more entrepreneurial. They use it to sell. They use it to make like children's coloring books. I've seen that. Okay, they're making children's coloring books, or they're making like customized graphics so that they can write their own children's story books. Like there's one person who created like a custom story book for their own child, and they printed it out and they bookbinded it and all that, so that they can teach their child, like, showering is not bad or something like that. I can't, or see, going to bed early is good for you or something like that. So it's a very customized sort of way of creating something for your child or whatever. So, but again, people are just creating it, they're consuming it without actually adding anything on top of it, right? Like, then it's not transformative, is the best way I can explain it. I know that word gets thrown around quite a lot, but it's not transformative.
But I think the customer,
however,
the customer experience is very transformative, because the customer is so fucking. They've never seen any of that shit. They're not in the creative industry.
Yeah, because for the customer, it's like, customer is like, okay, in my mind I have this. I wanna I type in a couple of words and it spits out something that is kind of okay for me.
They don't know that originally is someone else's fucking work.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't know that. That's the problem.
Exactly. A lot of people don't know that.
It's like someone who's never read poetry. Okay, going to ChatGPT.
And then all of a sudden reads Mirza Ghalib, and you're like, oh,
they're reading
my
Rumi
God.
And shit like that, right? That's what's going on. But the model is working on Rumi stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, exactly.
Man, wait till this gets into other languages, though, man.
Now here's the thing. Stable diffusion is a bit of a different beast. Okay, Stable diffusion is like the Midjourney and DALL-E. They're like very limited in, like, okay, they've been trained on a specific set of models, and you can prompt them in a certain specific way. Very limited use case. It's like a walled garden. That's the best way I can explain it. Okay, nothing wrong with it. Some people, in fact, thrive in walled gardens. That's fine. But then you have stable diffusion. Okay, which is like the mother, the father, the grandfather, and the grandmother of, like, all all image generation. It's like, it has no walls. It has nothing. It won't hold your hand. It's like trying to learn how to do image AI generation on, like, super hard mode. Okay, that's like, it's just. But once you learn it, it has so many applications. Like, there's that artificial intelligence. There's that AI influencer recently. She's like a Spanish AI influencer. I'm sure you must have read, like, things. There's this Spanish AI influencer who generates $10,000 a month on posts. Okay,
we did that. We did a whole thing on it as part of.
No, that's a different AI. Okay. This is a new one. There's another one that popped up. Okay. This new one is even more.
As well, or?
Yeah, it's a lady with, like, weird pink hair, and she looks more realistic than the one that you and I covered.
Okay, yeah, because of the tech.
The one that you and I covered was kind of like, you could still tell. But this one, bro, they actually put effort into it. Like, there's a lot of effort put into it to make her look as real as possible. And I chalk that up to the new models that have come out. Like, the SDXL model that has come out. And all those models. Yeah, so there's new models that have come out, and
all those.
The Epic Realism has done their SDXL model. Dreamshaper has done their SDXL model. So all these models that were really popular in the older version is now there for the newer versions, and they're getting even better. So people are using the newer versions, and they created this new AI. I wish I can find, like, the screenshots for you, but we'll do it some other time, hopefully. But she's making 10 grand a month. And the weird part is people are still falling for it. Yeah. Even though people know that there is this technology out there that can generate human beings. They can generate fake images of human beings. So people are still falling for it.
It's a round circle. So that's what I meant. I mean, when I was mentioning the idea, what Elon Musk is saying, that the threat is actually if you look at from
within,
so if you just look at OpenAI on its own, as to what the product they created, it's not really a threat. Like ChatGPT on its own is not a threat. But thing is that the overall convergence of every Tom, Dick, Harry now going into that business, thinking about, okay, how we can monetize this and create value. And when you ultimately search for creation of value, it creates the convergence.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? You have that Stable Diffusion AI used to create that model.
Yeah.
Used to create that AI influencer, right? So now we're talking about, like, nefarious purpose use. This is like, these are like bunch of people who see that, okay, look, it's so easy to create an image, and it's very easy to just put this stuff on Instagram. They just, like, post day in, day out. They're posting images on this girl who's, like, at a beach, or she's at, like, some, like, and here's the best part. if you want to actually get a specific type of image in Stable Diffusion, you can give it a source image from another from another real life influencer, and tell the AI to generate something similar with your influencer. It is insane. Like you can create like an entire persona, fake persona, with images that look so real today, now. Okay, you can actually go and do that right now. Anyway, this is not that. This is what we're talking about is that these technologies are being abused actually. Okay, and what's happening with Sam Altman and OpenAI is just like a small subset of what is actually happening in the vast ocean of like AI bullshittery. Okay, so that's
so
what I'm trying to say.
I think but I think that's where the thing is, right? Like there are genuine concerns. I mean, I have a genuine concern that it will actually wipe out a lot of jobs. But the creation of new jobs is very subjective, because
Yeah,
it depends on the human hunger
Spirit.
the human spirit, the human hunger for exploration, for new avenues, new horizons, right?
yeah. No, but that's happening, bro.
It is
Look,
happening, but the
it'll
thing is
happen.
not happening equally everywhere. That's the problem.
It can't happen equally
Yeah.
everywhere. There'll be certain sections of society
Because if
that
you look
will
at
never
if you look at the
understand what's
service
happening.
economy, India
Yeah,
is a service economy, and there are a couple of other countries like Philippines there, India is there, there's South Africa, there's a couple of them, right? But India being the biggest service economy. If you look at the call center, the contact center business that's been thriving since, I don't know, from the time when in the early days when cold calling was there, then Salesforce came along and kind of capitalized on that whole thing, and it became a professional business, right? If you look at, I'll share this, right, to give you a bit of a perspective as to what's in the mix at the moment that's happening, right?
yeah.
Guarantee your Christmas. How can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to make a return.
Happy to assist you. Can you tell me more about the problem first?
Yeah, my Christmas was just a little bit lackluster.
I'm so sorry to hear that. What can we do to remedy your Christmas?
So I had this Christmas tree for Christmas, and I just feel like my Christmas wasn't joyous enough, so I'd like a full refund.
Absolutely, sir. When you buy our Christmas tree, we guarantee 2 years of happiness. We'd be very happy to accept that return.
This is fine service. I'm Taylor. How can I help
I'm
you?
Taylor.
Missing something very valuable to me, and I'd like for you to find it for me.
Of course. Are you looking for your relative, sir?
It's, well, it's one of my socks.
Got it. We often deal with missing socks. What was the last time you saw it, sir?
Probably last Wednesday.
Oh my
If
god.
it's 5 days, we consider this critical.
If I
Our
didn't
team can
consider
come
this
find it for
critical.
you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, thank you so much. That is funny.
So I think it's a good demo. It's a funny demo.
That guy's actually pretty good, you know. For people who are like watching the show, that guy Linus on Twitter, we'll probably link.
Yeah,
to
we'll
one of
link
his
him up
tweets so you
here
can
because
follow him.
he's
actually
one of the
pretty good.
sources where I kind of run through to just double check, when I hear
Yeah.
something or I find a different.
He's
Twitter
actually
post.
pretty
Yeah,
good.
he
He's
puts
actually-
a lot of stuff together.
Yeah, he's actually pretty
And
good.
it actually helps us like to get
Yeah.
to the crux of it. So I think that the service-based economy, the contact-based economy, that contact centers and all that exist, might, if they do not innovate to provide other kind of services, which they are kind of, but contact center, like for example in Philippines, is a huge part of it, the customer service thing, right? If
Like the whole of most of the economy's GDP comes in
yeah,
from there.
so now if
Yeah.
ChatGPT starts,
most of the GDP in the economy
comes from there,
Is it?
So
I don't know.
a
Yeah.
huge part, and if that whole process is eliminated because it's all going to be given to AI, that is fine. New jobs will be created, but how long will that turmoil? How long that this purgatory hell that's going to get created? How long that will exist? In the corporate world, right? So new kind of products need to be created in order for new services and all that other stuff to latch on.
Yeah.
So, especially with the way the economy is at the moment. So,
Once again, the other thing is that we are experiencing something like the advent of the internet right now. So when the internet first came on, it was only used for the things that people thought they will use every day. For example, email. Email was like one of the biggest push, like initially, of the internet. Like you had places that were charging you for email, you had places that were giving you email for free, along with like advertising. Email was a huge push. But then, as technology got better, you had this thing for sharing, like, photos online, right? You had all these, like, what do you call it? You had, what is that?
Shutterstock.
Before, you had like High Five.
Flickr.
You had High Five. You had
We
Flickr.
still have Flickr, but
No, I'm talking about people who are sharing photos of themselves. We're talking about High Five. You had Hot or Not, some weird like websites like that. You had like Friendster. Remember, Friendster was like an early version of Facebook, basically. You had Orkut, which was like a social media platform comparable to Facebook. Then Facebook came along, and then you had like other things like, oh, let's share videos now. So then you had video sharing websites. Then there was like all this. Then it got more and more complicated. Now you have like APIs like that are shared across across the internet. You had like Git, and like code is being pulled and pushed, and there's this whole confluence of things that is happening now. But at the initial days of AI, at the initial days of the internet, nobody could have actually imagined what we are right now doing. In fact, your phone, my phone, everybody's phone, the way the phone evolved from the 90s to now is because of the internet. Because the internet was there, and people thought that, oh, we should actually make the phone more internet friendly. And because of that, you have this whole candy bar, like this whole nice big screen candy bar form factor.
Talk about that. I mean, this is a good segue actually. So modular phones was a thing. And I kind of still feel that it never really will take off, because
it never really took off.
They're still trying to push it. There's still a lot of companies trying to push it. But I think in the spirit of the whole, the PC Master Race. So for people who are not familiar with PC Master Race, there's a whole subreddit
PC Master Race
on Reddit about it. And it is basically people trying to get the best bang for buck in terms of creating the best PCs for gaming or for what.
Really? I thought it was just about like, the PC bros like going like, oh, look, my PC can do this and
I
your
think it
console
did start
can do
with
that.
It did start with that.
Okay.
And it still somewhat is that kind of community.
So now it's like what, budget
like
optimization?
that became a reality. PC Master is that before.
Yeah, okay. It's a self-fulfilling meme, basically.
So it is that, right? And now that is turning into a business model. So someone actually thought about, okay, you know what if this PC Master Race thing is something that there is a huge market for, which it does, right? It has ability to sell out GPUs. PC Master Race, the subreddit.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'll show you this bit here.
I'm 100% like 100% believe. I 100% believe that there are like NVIDIA trolls sitting in those like Reddit forums, and they're like giving like weird. Oh yeah, I know about this laptop, the framework laptop.
Yeah, I mean, like I was doing when I was looking into buying a MacBook. There's this fella, bro. I'll find out. He's on YouTube, and he's a big critic of Apple and its products as to in terms of serviceability.
What, Louis Grossman?
Louis Grossman.
Louis Grossman,
yeah. Shout out
he
to him,
Mac.
man. I saw some of his videos, and his videos, his content, it's a mix of like right to repair and all that is there, but especially when he talks philosophically about like why piracy, will persist and continue to persist, and why piracy in a way is actually a great thing and not a bad thing, and why companies, sometimes he goes even all out saying that companies deserve to be pirated, right? So when he says all those things, right, and then you
exactly.
like they're clickbaity titles, but when you actually listen to them, he actually means it. It's not clickbait. It sounds like clickbait, but when you actually click on it, you're like, you know what, it makes sense, right? And it's the disservice that these companies are doing to consumers, right? They're paying their hard-earned money to get a product that they could own and work with, right? And the freedom is not there. So I think that he actually recommended that, apart from MacBook, I would recommend a framework laptop. And that's how I found out about it. I was watching one of his videos. He recommended it. Like he's not sponsored or anything. I mean, that's what he claimed. He just mentioned it. He just name dropped it. And I was looking at, because if I compare this to the Dells and Like,
Linus
Yeah.
Tech Tips, right? Linus,
Oh, yeah,
he
there you
has
go.
investments in this
There you
company.
go,
There you
man.
go. There he
Yeah,
is.
there you go.
He actually has investments in this. I think he invested like what 250
Yeah,
grand
so
or
I mean,
something
what do
into
you
this
think about this
company.
whole framework thing? What's your, I mean, every bit and part
No,
can
it's a great concept.
Yeah.
It's a great concept, but
it'll never
bro,
be mainstream.
let's no, it might become mainstream, but the only thing that's holding it back is the software, bro. Windows.
Yeah, but I think in the future,
Windows
everything's
is
going to be in
holding
the
it
cloud,
back.
man. It's going to become a platform thing.
Even if it's in the
This
cloud,
whole
even if
OS
it's
thing and all that will just disappear, I think.
bro, okay, then if it's going to be in the cloud, then you don't need to buy like a dedicated
That's what I'm saying.
MacBook or
Then
whatever it is.
it'll
It'll become
be all
it'll become
iPad.
OS
Yeah,
as a
it'll be
service. You
OS
know?
as a service, like iPads and all that. Like,
Yeah, you won't even need an iPad. What will happen is I'll tell you what's gonna happen in the future. In the future, you saw that whole humane like AI pin thing, right?
yeah, we did it in the
like we
last
did
episode. I think.
last
Yeah,
episode.
yeah.
So what will happen is Apple or Microsoft or whoever is like trying to sell their ecosystem, it'll be a battle of the ecosystems. Okay, it already is a battle of the ecosystems with the added cost of hardware these days. Eventually, it'll just be a battle of the ecosystems. It'll be like one company who has a complete ecosystem. They're selling you this one tiny thing that you need to buy to become a part of the ecosystem, and then you can use their
Yeah, but
product with any other
the other
product you
phenomenon
want.
that's happening in the moment is interesting to watch. It's like how companies are investing into shitloads of hardware, and they're making partnerships. Like
Yeah.
Nvidia is doing it with Microsoft, with Qualcomm, and all that. These guys are making their own
Yeah.
silicon, Apple, and all that. I mean, it's all vertical integration.
No, but you know why they're doing it, right? You know why they're doing it. You know why the vertical integration is happening. It's because they've all realized that it's no longer about the hardware. They can't make money on the hardware anymore. They just can't. The amount of money Apple makes on hardware is nothing compared to how much it makes on its iCloud
Software,
Plus service. The iCloud Plus, whatever the Apple Plus services that they have, the
in a
Apple
weird way, it's
Arcades,
gone to
the
that whole gaming model. If you look at all the consoles and all
gaming,
that, Nintendo's the
exactly.
only ones
It's
making
gone into the
money on
whole
consoles.
console model. Yeah, it's gone into the whole console model. You buy the console, it'll give you access to that console's library. That's it. It's the battle of the ecosystems. And the weird thing is Microsoft was already in this thing and they didn't realize it. And Apple realized it. Apple went like, oh man, Apple, that Apple is the world's biggest company when it comes to revenue from gaming.
Yeah, Apple Arcade. Yeah.
It's not Microsoft, it's not Nintendo, it's not Sony, who are actually companies that make gaming hardware and software. It's Apple.
I mean, their AirPods
Because
sell
of their
more
arcade.
than I think Spotify's revenue.
Yeah. Their AirPods sell more than. But why? Why do their AirPods sell? Because they connect to other Apple devices.
Yeah.
Okay, they connect to other Apple devices, and they connect to your normal,
I mean, in the
shit ass
telco
devices as
industry,
well.
In the mobile sales industry, they call it attachment rate.
Yeah, attachment rate. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
So,
billion.
like my AirPods will connect to my, they'll work seamlessly. Like if I'm on one Apple MacBook, it'll be there, and then if I move from that to this one, it'll automatically connect to this one. And if I'm on my phone, when a phone call comes in, it automatically connects to my phone. The only bad part is when I have to use it on something like a Switch or an Android, so I have to really go in and do the whole Bluetooth thing, which is fine. I'm not that lazy that I can't push a couple of buttons. That's okay. But that's why the whole Mac or the whole Apple ecosystem is quite seamless. Now, Windows tried this. They are continuing to try it, but they're not able to nail it down. You know what I mean? Like with their whole what do you call it? Surface Books and Surface Pads, and they had this Surface Duo thing, which was like a notebook that had two screens. That kind of failed spectacularly. So again, I think it's because of the software, the ecosystem. Microsoft is so heavily invested in trying to just bloat whatever applications they have onto the little application, onto the little hardware.
Yeah,
And it just makes it
Apple's
clunky.
operating system OS, even after so many years, last time I had a laptop was 10 years ago, and then I went back to Linux and Windows, and work happened, and it was all Windows all the way. And then the cloud came into being, and now we work a lot of cloud apps, right? I mean, dude, this whole podcast, right? 90% of it works off cloud.
It's
right?
we apps.
YouTube is in the cloud. Twitter is in the cloud. The service Riverside FM that we use is in the cloud. Fucking all our notes are on the fucking, we share it using.
Eventually,
on the cloud.
right now, the design software that we use, right? So, for example, we have Photoshop, Premiere, all those things. Adobe is working on their Express
Oh,
apps,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The Photoshop Express and
I've used
Adobe
that,
Express and
Adobe
all those kind of
Express,
things.
Yeah, Adobe. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah,
nice.
Express, Adobe Express. So they're coming up with their whole cloud platform
Just upload your
applications.
photograph into it, and
Thing is that
you can remove backgrounds, do all that.
yeah,
And then soon enough
yeah.
they'll bring an AI
But
and
background
AI
removal,
tools into it as well.
bro. Background removal is like milquetoast now. Every other application, Canva is
Dude,
doing black
rotoscoping.
background removals. It's like nothing.
Rotoscoping is now just
Yeah.
one click, far out.
Yeah, I know. Again, it's all because you have all these advancements in AI, and they're all trying to just jam cram their entire pieces of software with whatever they can do,
Yeah,
whatever
but
they
then,
can find.
Hey, by the way, I was going to talk about something else, but you had something on Coles. What happened? What's
Oh yeah,
happening on
let's
Australia
let's
side
do
of
that.
things, man?
Let's
Sure.
okay. Let me share this. Let me share this with you. So, can I share? I can share, right? Share my screen.
I mean, the immigration policy was the last thing kind of weird. I come here
No,
and
no,
my
not
phone
the
is telling me
immigration,
about the
bro. This
immigration
is-
policy that they're going to announce it.
No, this is even more this is even more weird, because in this case the customers are being treated like crap basically. Alright, check this out. So I'll share this. Can you see that?
It's the same one that,
Can you see
so
the-
it is real. Okay.
Okay.
I want to talk to you.
It
about
is real.
this.
So, New World Coles announces new customer policy, beginning December 11th, which is today. Customers shopping at the Maribro Coles supermarket, which is very close
Yeah,
to where
yeah.
I live. Actually, it's about like 50 kilometers away from where I am. Will be required to assist in unloading of boxes from its semi-trailers, help to stack its shelves, and pack and collect their own click and collect
Might as well just fucking work there, man.
from the
Just
store.
quit your job, go there and work there for your groceries.
Go-
That's what you need to do. That's what
Exactly.
You need to do.
Exactly. The new tasks will be in addition to customers' current self-service checkouts and packing duties. However, an employee discount, access to staff room, or an invitation to its work Christmas party is still not expected to be forthcoming. Okay, now this is taking the piss. Right?
Sometimes feels like
The announcement comes amid allegations of price gouging, false advertising, staff underpayment, heavy-handed tactics against farmers, and use of invasive facial. Bro, this is messed up. I actually went into Coles and I saw these cameras, bro.
Yeah. So
And-
on that thing, right? I attended an AI conference in Melbourne, and the CFO.
Oh yeah, you told me the Coles guy was
Yeah,
there,
the
right? Yeah.
CFO, and I think we discussed this on the
CFO or CTO?
sorry. The
Yeah.
well-spoken guy.
We discussed it off podcast. We didn't discuss it
so I was
on the
talking to
podcast
my
itself.
other mates or whoever I went with at that time, and someone asked that question: that why the cameras exist, and he said it's just there. We don't keep
Yeah.
that information. It's just there to just make sure someone is standing there. It was a very weird fucking kind of a answer.
Basically, he didn't answer the question. He just basically
or in
answered the question that he
reality,
wanted to answer.
It is just there to detect presence. Okay. Just to make sure that a real person is, loading all that stuff in, and they're not actually keeping record. But the point is not that they're not keeping record. Point is that their mechanism is there, and with
The mechanism
software
exists,
update, they can
yeah.
always decide to change that policy anytime and not tell
Oh
us.
yeah, they can do all
about it,
kinds of
you know.
stuff, bro. Yeah, 100%. And now over here, this is the line that actually hits the hardest, right? All while the corporation boasts record profit margins during a cost of living crisis, which is very
It's true, but then another thing you got to understand is, right, inflation is so high that now,
I know. Salaries have to go high
up,
as well.
Expenses have gone up. So raw materials, if you buy
Everything's
a
gone
box of cereal, the price of the box of cereal
Yeah.
has gone up. So when you look at the profits,
They'll
the
go
number
up,
has
yeah.
gone up. Okay, in comparison to last year. So when you look at that number and you do that,
100%. No, I agree. I agree with that. But here's the thing. This is a customer. This is like an average customer community sort of thing. So obviously they're gonna have a
Yeah,
line
of
like
course
this
they
in
have to,
there.
man.
I completely understand that. But it does hit
like how
hard,
it's
like the
got a
way they're
middle
trying to
finger.
explain it to you. Yeah, exactly. Somebody made like a meme over here with like the Cole's finger like that. Oh man, this is messed up. Like, I think I know why they're doing it. I think I know why Maribro specifically is doing it, because bro, there's very small population in Maribro. The people who are working in Coles is probably not that
Yeah.
much. So they're asking the customers to help out, but bro, it's a really shitty thing to actually ask your customers to help out, like in operations, bro. This is terrible.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
But
this
then-
is
but I think
Australia.
that's another problem. This is where you need
First world
AI
country,
and
man.
robotics because of all this bullshit. Because we
But
don't have enough people.
what AI and robotics are you talking about? Like, you need, okay, so you're telling me you need like some kind of an AI robotics. You need that Amazon robot at the back of these trucks to actually go in there and like, pull out
And
like all
shelf-
these
and
crates
shelf
and cartons.
things,
Bro. Yeah, but bro, Coles is not going to do that. No Australian
What I'm
company
saying, I
is
think
going to do that.
it needs to become more feasible and affordable to be able to put that technology in place, right? Because warehouse technology,
It's not going to happen. Not anytime soon.
It's
It's
not
not
gonna
going to
happen.
happen. Warehouse technology,
you need like
yeah, it's not going to
unless you
happen
have
anytime soon. Not
boatloads
in
of money
Australia.
like fucking Amazon. Yeah.
No, bro, these people have boatloads of money. Coles and Woolies group, they have tons of money. The Coles and Woolies have their own special technological sectors. So Coles has like a whole technical
Yeah, but where is all that
what do you call
profit
it?
going?
Side of
They're
things.
just paying it back in dividends, isn't it, to their customers, to their shareholders?
Either they're paying it back in dividends to their shareholders, or they're also investing in a lot of technologies. Like, think about it. Coles has a CTO.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
also $1 billion
Woolies has a CTO.
Investment project. Yeah, 1 billion.
Yeah, no, Woolies has a CTO. No, I'm talking about like Coles and Woolies. These are supermarket chains. They have CTOs. Okay, they have chief technical officers because they're doing some kind of innovation. They're doing some level of R&D. They're building out some products. Those products might not be as visible to you and me, but they're there. But this was just funny because you are asking, customers are paying for the products. It's not like the customers are getting these products for free. But you are then asking the customer to come and pack and collect their own click and collect. What is the point of click and collect then? This is what I'm saying. The whole world is kind of going like topsy-turvy now, It's like what Louis Rossmann says, right? Louis Rossmann says that, when you had Netflix and Hulu and all these different things come up first, they were great. They were great ideas. Everybody jumped onto them and they just abandoned piracy, And piracy was like piracy. Everybody thought that piracy was gone. And then you had like far too many of these online services, far too much content, but it's all like diluted like among all these different services. And majority of the content on those services is crap. It's like rubbish. It's trash content. Like, how many things on Netflix are trash? And the only thing that comes out like over the last God knows how many years that Netflix has been there is like, what is that? Stranger Things. Stranger Things new season came out and Netflix is shot back up again. You know what I mean? It's very rare. Most of Netflix's content is rubbish. That's why I cancelled my Netflix subscription, because I was like, this is trash. I don't watch anything. Nothing. Even my wife doesn't watch anything. Some people just keep it like as if it's like, like it's like a family treasure,
One thing I
family
noticed
heirloom,
is
They
when
just
I
keep
came to
paying
Pakistan,
Netflix's fees.
Netflix's content library is amazing here.
It's much better. Yeah.
Their anime, especially the kids section, man. They've got everything in it except Bluey.
Yeah, but bro, that's because they have no competition when it comes to licensing fees. Over here in Australia, people have been holding their licenses for decades, bro. The Power Rangers license in Australia is being held by this one dude, somewhere like in Sydney. He's holding the damn licenses for God knows how long. You cannot air Power Rangers on Netflix over here. You go to Japan, Power Rangers is like freely available. Like, I might watch it on Netflix, no problem.
Yeah.
Because the original owners of the license are sitting in Japan and Netflix has a deal with them. It's like over here, it's like, you can't have Power Rangers on here.
But the weird part is like, are they making money? Like, I mean, like here, the amount of content. Yeah.
That's the other thing. Are they making money? Because it just seems like a Ponzi scheme, right? They get like investor money. They invest all this money into content. The content comes in. Netflix is showing year on year.
At the moment, is all
It's Ponzi.
basically a Ponzi scheme. Because the whole idea is
exactly.
OpenAI would have been a Ponzi scheme for a long time if it had not,
Partnered with
Microsoft. Because the whole idea is you take someone else's money, you create something that has potential, not in terms of product creating any kind of value, but being able to market it. It's all about marketing. You market and you may market to other people who think, okay, I buy it for 10, I put in some work and sell it for 20, and I double my money or 3-4 times my money.
Yeah.
That's what's been going on for a long time in venture capitalism.
Yeah.
And now I think OpenAI is the only one that is kind of worked out.
And
Microsoft.
And venture capitalists are like a special breed of human being. They will invest in anything. and
Like,
everything.
Look at all the crypto
If-
scams.
if it
all
makes-
the crypto shit that happened.
Forget about crypto, bro. Juicero. Remember Juicero? You know Juicero?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Juicero.
Yeah, Juicero. Yeah, and after that, what do you think about this whole thing where you go and you make your own smoothie? You just press a button, the robot turns out to turn.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me share this. Let me share this article. Okay. Just so that people who have no idea about what this thing is, because this was like the ultimate, bullshit, product that everybody that Silicon Valley was just sharing like crazy. Okay, here we go. So
Yeah, man. I remember that.
Juicero.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a
The pouches
this
and
is-
all that shit.
all it
It's
is-
Like, is that the one, right?
all it is like a machine. Okay, it is a machine that basically squeezes a packet.
Yeah.
A packet. It is a machine that has fresh juice. So the fresh juice gets processed somewhere else, made somewhere else, and then it gets delivered. Then you go into a shop and you buy it, and you bring it in. It has like this weird these stupid tabs up here. So let me just zoom in here. It has like these stupid tabs up here. Okay, where so that it fits proprietarily into the machine, and then you close this lid, and then all the machine does is just squeezes the damn juice
It's like a
out of
press.
this thing. Okay, you just press a button and it squeezes this juice into like a glass.
It's a gold
Okay, that's
press,
what it
isn't
does.
I mean, if you think about it.
The price of this machine was $400.
What
Okay,
a scam. Bro.
and that's not the price that the machine started at. It started at 700. The price went down 400 after like they lost their initial CEO and everything. Okay, it raised
This is Theranos level shit,
$120
bro.
million.
You heard about Theranos, right?
Theranos though, okay, look, Theranos was a medical company trying to do big medical shit, okay? But this was a juice box, this is a juice squeezer, okay? It doesn't even make a juice. You know that $50 machine that you can buy in like from China that
It's
can
similar
actually
to
just
how coffee
grind
machines
the
are sold,
vegetables.
Coffee capsule machines.
Yeah,
It's
coffee
similar to
capsule
that. That's
machines,
what
that's
they
it.
do. Yeah.
But this is like buying, God knows, like freaking a coffee machine, capsule machine that can sell, that's like $700 or something. Which you actually do get capsule machines for $700. But this juicer raised $120 million. Imagine how many actual hungry people in Africa you could feed with that much money. Okay. And you know what the worst part is? The worst part was that people could actually just go out there to the supermarket, buy this freaking packet, come home, squeeze it with their hands, and the juice will come out. Okay? And squeezing it by hand extracted just as much juice as the machine did. So there was absolutely no reason for this juice product to exist. Yet Silicon Valley and its venture capitalists raised $120 million for this damn thing. And it was just terrible.
I mean,
Okay,
but
and it
do you
died,
think
like, within 16 months,
But I
gone.
think this is where I think that it's like when one industry overpowers certain part of the industry. It's like when Star Wars came out, right? It was all marketing, but great product. Don't get me wrong, right? And then obviously Apple also marketing, right? And for a long term, marketing is a huge part of selling products and selling whether they be digital or hardware services. That's what happens when tech gets into food. This is what happens, right? And
No, when tech gets into food and when tech gets into medicine,
yeah,
that's
I mean,
what
look
happens.
at marketing getting into cereal. What they've done to kids' food. But dude, kids have all this for breakfast. you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like got milk. That's pure marketing.
That marketing campaign was great. No,
Yeah,
that marketing
that's
campaign was
marketing.
great because they were not. That was because the Dairy Association of America wanted people to consume more dairy.
more milk. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it. It was a simple concept. They were not trying to sell you a particular brand of milk. That was not the idea. The idea was everybody buy any milk.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
consume milk.
Great campaign.
That was same thing with the way that Australian, the Australian lamb, right? Those lamb ads.
Oh yeah.
I'll share you.
The Sam Kekovich ones. Have you seen those ones?
Yeah, there's so many amazing ads. Like, bro, the un-Australian lamb ad is the most Australian
Sam
ad
Gakovic,
ever.
yeah,
Okay.
Sam Gakovic. Yeah. I think
Okay,
that's the
so
one.
I'll just share that here. This is like the best
Lamb
freaking
Day.
ad that Australia could come up with. Okay, and here we go.
Yes, I'm the best.
Congratulations, Gerald. But unfortunately, boasting is un-Australian. Dorothy.
He stole my recipe.
Dobbing is also very un-Australian.
Hey, lady, you're un-Australian.
Jade stick? Un-Australian.
What's the deal with people in Australia? Did they just... There's a word.
Is that kombucha un-Australian?
The worst thing you can ever call an Australian. Where do they go? Oh, just an infinite cultural exile from which they can never return. Okay, yeah. It's getting a little out of hand. Wait, no one left soon.
Ruby, can you turn it up? Subtitles? Un-Australian. Right, now I can't get a drink. So bloody pub is un-Australian. Oh, fuck!
Aussie athlete expresses opinion. There you go, man. Croc bayous, croc baya crocs.
What are you here for?
Tried to eat a meat pie with these.
Don't know the words to Kaysan.
Charged him $1 for tomato sauce.
What is this? Where am I?
Lamb.
How's that un-Australian?
All I said was, bon appetit.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful day. Lamb. Doesn't get any better than this. Well, that was an unexpected escalation.
Police officer.
It's zero alcohol.
Still free beer, though.
Lodging is un-Australian.
It's lazy, not un-Australian.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Where did you get that?
The Exile barbecue. Everyone's there, mate.
There's a lamb barbecue happening in Exile? Go to the All Blacks!
Go to the All Blacks.
Feature doesn't belong on a burger.
Un-Australian?
It's proper Australian humor, man.
Guess that's what makes us Australian.
How do we get that?
You don't need to, man.
Why would you want to?
Now that is what you call an ad. That is a great ad. But you see how the ad was not trying to sell you a particular brand of lamb. It was just saying, dude, eat lamb. Simple. And it didn't even go eat lamb. It just went,
no, I mean,
lamb is
not only
Australian. That's it.
I mean, look, the thing is this, like, I mean, if you look at Australian ads,
a great
right,
ad.
some of them are really cringy. And I think that the reason they're cringy is not because that those guys are out of touch. Is that those topics are so fucking dry. You're trying to sell something that's unsellable, and that whole thing turns cringy, right? I mean, we've seen it in telco, we've seen it in like medical, insurance, and all kinds of ads, right?
Yeah, Medibank has some really amazing cringe ads.
And if they hit it off, they do really well. Like if you look at the Carlton, you remember
those
Carlton
they do
ads?
amazingly well. Yeah.
Like
you saw the new Telstra Christmas ads.
In reality, the humor sense.
Yeah,
of humor,
best alcohol ads. Yeah.
Like the alcohol ads and like if you look at the classic Telstra ads or the Optus Zoo ads, before this whole.
No, even the new Telstra Christmas ad are actually pretty good. It's actually
I've not seen
nice.
them, but yeah, I heard they're pretty good. And
pretty good.
I think, but Sam Gakovic, that guy, who said Bon Appetit, he's Sam Gakovic.
Bon
So
appetit.
he did all these like un-Australian. He said the word un-Australian. It's un-Australian to not eat lamb, right? And that is where it was in the early 2000s or 2004 onwards.
Yeah.
He did all these like amazing ads, like
He's the guy. He's the guy who said like my great grandfathers didn't go to the war so that we could eat vegetables.
he said all that, right? So,
He's-
and like, I mean, and actually, for people who are watching, there is an ABC documentary, ABC Australia documentary about these two guys who were basically just drink and play snooker all day. Okay, they had this kind of work culture that was like
what doping work?
Just not working, just like fucking playing at work, just play,
Slacking
off,
off, basically.
And they came up with the best Australian ads of all time, man. Like even Toyota ads that they make right now in Australia, they made the best ads. They introduced jingles into ads. They came up with the concept of jingles, contest, advance the whole Australia thing, right? And they made all these like amazing beer ads and contests and all these like big Australian names, right? They were part of all of that, and all they did is just played. They just played at work, and they just enjoyed themselves. They would come late, start late, finish late.
Yeah, I mean they basically lived a life of satisfaction.
Yeah, and they created all these
happiness,
ads.
whatever you
And
wanna
like
call it,
recently, man, I saw this one amazing ad, and I was thinking to myself, like, this is like, I mean, it wasn't for the podcast, so I didn't add it in. But recently, I watched an ad, and it was brilliant. It really told you like the power of advertising, right? But I mean, you can tell we are so bombarded by so much shit that even that amazing ad that I watched, I can't remember what it is now.
You can't remember
Right?
it.
So
Yeah.
ultimately, you need great ads for a particular brand, but you need to keep repeating them. Like how Coke
You need to
does
keep
it
repeating.
and,
Anyway, like let's come back to the whole concept of the whole Silicon Valley, like investors and like craziness that they do, right? So Silicon Valley, we love you, but at the same time, man, some of the stuff you've done is like really stupid. Like seriously.
Yeah, that's why that place is like
it's like a time capsule. It's like a not a time capsule. It's like a
but isn't it true?
It's like a
Israel,
mini
Vietnam, India, they're all now becoming these new Silicon Valley hubs. Ireland, apparently,
Well, they're trying to because honestly, they have like the next generation of like. But again, nobody can do it like how Silicon Valley does it. Like even if you have like big software development happening in India, you've got bigger companies sitting in India that are actually willing to capitalize on it. You've got Infosys there. What else is there? Infosys is there. Tata is there. Mahindra is there. There's so many big companies who are like in
But
the
I
tech
think the
sector who
innovation
just
is
go and
there in
grab them.
terms of providing service. There is no innovation in terms of like product development.
No, product development and innovation is there, but the problem is that the people who actually can innovate in product development or developing a good product, they will just leave the country. Which is, bro, azan happening in the background,
Yeah, so it's
Allahu
I think
Akbar,
what time is right now? Yeah, it's 5:30, so it started. The world's gonna start waking up.
Started.
But
Yep, it's gonna begin. Anyway, let's just do one thing. Let's lock it off here today.
Yeah.
I think we've done a plenty.
Yeah, I think that ad was a great way to
That ad is a great way to like just do a palate cleanser and like run. Yeah, because honestly, to anybody who's listening, we've actually reconvened after like 2.5 to 3 weeks or something. So most of what we have on the list there is actually quite outdated. Like we were going to talk about like Binance, the Binance dude pleads guilty and stuff, but everybody already kind of knows about it.
If you think about the scam and all that is going on, I mean,
it was about to
part
come
of
to
the whole venture capital
after
thing.
Sam Bankman.
If you think about venture capital,
after Sam Bankman-Fried got caught.
Whole thing, the debacle.
No, after Sam Bankman-Fried got caught, I was like, it's a matter of time when that dude is going to get caught as well. The Binance guy will get caught as well. I told people like, look, it's a matter of time when Binance is also going to get shut down. I think the last big bastion of like these big exchanges is just Coinbase now, and hopefully they still manage to like stay in business because hopefully they haven't done any dodgy kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's bad. Like the whole crypto market is just collapsing now. It's completely just collapsing. Like two of the biggest exchanges in the whole crypto sphere, they have just basically
Gemini,
collapsed.
I think,
FTX and Binance. Yeah, they've both collapsed. So it's scary. And the best, and shout out to like the guy, what's his name, CoffeeZilla. He is like the best coverage
that guy, man.
in this entire
there
area.
is actually market in just looking at scams. Like it's just
Yeah.
But why there is so
but
much?
that's the thing. I mean,
why there is so
he
much interest in understanding how scams work, and you know what I mean? Like
no, because
why does
because
he
I
have
think
such a big
it's
audience?
human
You
nature
think,
to
what's the attraction of his audience?
no, it's because the human nature is actually very averse to people trying. Okay, humans don't like to be shown that they're stupid or there's been a mockery made of them, right? You don't want to be like, shown to the world, like you don't want to actually be made to feel stupid, right? And I think scamming, when you get scammed, it's like one of those things. Like there was this one time when I was driving down, like, I think it's like Hoddle Street or something down here, and when I was in Melbourne, I saw this guy on the street who was like super, like, agitated. So I stopped by and I was like, dude, what's happening? And this guy said, brother, I need money, blah blah blah. And I was like, I don't like giving out money, but you seem like, you need the money. And he's like, yep, so I gave him like I think I gave him like a $50 or something. He took that money and he just ran, bro. Like he actually ran. So I was scammed basically at that stage, because it was just, I thought he genuinely needed help. But all he was looking for just cash money.
I went to visit my cousins right here, and
yeah,
she works as a journalist, and I went to visit the family, and their
bro, dangerous job in
daughter is a
Pakistan, bro.
journalist,
But yeah,
okay. And we were discussing about how the system works, right? And I told her that
heavy discussion.
Like she's young and she's ambitious and wants to be a proper journalist and all that. And I asked her, like, I don't understand that why in this society or in all societies, like, we have a huge amount of population, especially here, in this part of the diaspora, right? Where a lot of the thing is just work, is all about surrounding yourself with people who look up to you, or, basically, जैसे कि we call it in Urdu and Hindi, like chaplusi, TC Ganna, like this whole idea about like
licking balls,
sucking up to people, kissing ass,
sucking
all
up.
these things. Like I'm trying to explain
Kissing
to her
ass.
all these, like, and what's surprising, I'm not surprised, but kind of surprised as well, that even here it's practiced very heavily. They have like funny colloquial words for it, but she came up with something very. Something a bit of a brain opener for me, right? Like, kind of a mind opener, right? Which was, she said that
Can't
not
open the brain,
everybody,
like,
she said not everybody has the option to use merit and talent to grow.
Yeah.
The only way sometimes to grow up that ladder is to kiss ass.
Yeah, it's true. We see that now. We see that in every day in our jobs as well. That's how it is. We don't choose to engage in that behavior. That's a separate issue, but maybe we should, because
but
we might be in a different spot if we
but monkey is what monkey does, right? If you think about it, like I think it's just there in all animals. Like if you look at the animal kingdom.
No, but the thing is, I'm actually okay. Kissing ass and everything is fine.
Yeah.
साहब हमसे बहुत प्यार करते. No, kissing ass is fine. Kissing ass is fine and stuff. You want to do that and do what you do to get to wherever you want, man. Like, don't let me stop you. The thing about kissing ass is, I always find it kind of like,
I think it's
get
talent
scared
as well. It
because
requires
I'm like, okay,
talent. Not
if I
everybody can kiss
hang
ass.
on. No, talent is there. Talent is there. You can look. If I want to kiss ass, I can kiss ass. Okay, I can really get into kissing ass, right? But the problem is, I'm always worried that this guy's ass that I'm kissing, is he going to actually take me to that level? Is he actually going to help me? Because what happens is, a lot of times
doesn't turn out to be anything.
you kiss ass, and the guy who you're kissing ass to, he gets removed, and all of a sudden you're now alone. And because everybody knows. And here's the thing, because everybody knows that you used to kiss this guy's ass, you are next on the chopping block, so you got to quickly switch, like, kissing ass tactics, and you got to kiss somebody else's ass.
That's where they call it politics, and that's where politics comes in.
Exactly. So I'm of the opinion that stop kissing ass, be good at what you do, provide value in your own way, and look, if nobody acknowledges what you're doing as valuable or whatever, at least you can go to sleep at night comfortably. That, look, I'm doing my job, I'm doing the best I can, and in the end, look, if it doesn't accomplish anything, you can at least, like, die. Like, if you go to death, if you die, basically, you can die knowing that, hey man, I didn't kiss nobody's ass to get to where I am. You know, you can at least die in that. I mean, I know it's a thing of pride, like, you know, making it like a thing of pride.
I think
but
it was Game of
it might
Thrones.
not be. It might be stupid.
The first novel or the first season, you might want to say,
Okay.
where the guy gets his head chopped off, right?
Yeah.
And I was discussing.
Yeah, exactly. He don't kiss no
and
ass.
I was discussing with someone about the book and the character itself, like the Sean Bean plays, right? And he says that's why I think that, you know, honor in itself is just a useless trait to have, which was very
You
like,
think
you know,
that?
very like jarring for me.
Oh, he said that.
Like he was just talking philosophically about, like, you know, that guy got his head chopped off
honor,
because he believes in honor, and honor is
Yeah.
is a useless thing in today's world. It doesn't have any meaning. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, look at him. He didn't get him anything. Got his head chopped off. Now, if you practice honor, what is gonna, apart from making you feel better about something, it doesn't do anything, which is kind of sad. Like, you know,
but
integrity, honor.
No, but here's the thing. Let me just contextualize it for you. Pakistan and India, and in many ways China, these are all low trust societies. Like, these are societies where trust is at an all-time low in other people.
It is,
right?
I've noticed that.
That's why you have, like, you know, security doors. You don't have one door. You have like two doors, and you have like
I've
bars
noticed
in
that.
front of your windows and all that kind of shit, right? Australia, Canada, America, generally like all the Western European nations, they're all like high trust societies. You know, especially in some parts of Australia, like in Cairns, I think you can actually leave your doors unlocked, and nobody's gonna just go in there and start stealing shit from you. Or is it Cairns? I don't remember. One of those places where people just leave their doors unlocked because nobody actually will steal anything from you. Where I live right now is very questionable. I wish I had like bars on my thing, because every time you open, like, you know, the community newsletter and you read shit, you're like, oh my god, like, people got stabbed, and, like, you know, there was home invasion here. You kind of get worried. But generally, these societies are like quite high
trust.
High trust societies.
Although most people don't
in
know
high
their
trust
neighbors.
societies, or even though most people don't know their neighbors, it's still a high trust society because you believe that, look, for the common good, everybody's going to behave well. And in high trust societies, honor is something that is respected. Even if it's not rewarded, it is respected. Okay? But in low trust societies, honor is neither respected nor rewarded. Right? That's why people have this attitude of, well, what's honor going to get you? Honor is going to get you nothing. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. If you know, India, Pakistan, and China or whatever were, I guess, if the government had done a slightly better job of trying to encourage its people and, you know, have a general optimistic outlook on life, then it would have been better. But unfortunately, we don't live in that society right now. Anyway, on that note, let's just close it off here. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week with better, more updated topics. I know today was a bit of a ramble. And hopefully next week we're going to do a better job, I guess.
I really enjoy it.
Anyway, bro, this is actually not bad.
Because when it gets really topic heavy, then it kind of, you know, ceases to be that organic podcast that we like. You know, we just go with the flow.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think,
All right.
We'll catch up next week, bro.
All right, we'll see. On that note, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much, bots. And
thanks for listening. See ya.
See you, Ustad. Bye.